for it.
Yeah.
All right, so we are now live. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I have Darren Shepard here. I'm screen sharing the screen of him, the creator of so much awesome software, but most recently gptscript, which I am so excited to play around with today. Darren, do you want to introduce yourself? Talk about gptscript.
Yeah. So I'm Darren Shepard. So I think the most notable thing I've done in the past was create a K3S. Beyond that, yeah. So I've been working a lot in the Kubernetes space, but I just kind of more recently got into AI, and so I've been fooling around with AI. And if anyone follows me on Twitter, I just get frustrated with everything. And so gptscript is the kind of the result of that frustration. I was just trying to figure out how to use, I just wanted to get access to AI. Like, how can I just do fun things with it? So what came out of that was this little tool that I just released last week. And basically the idea of it is, instead of writing code to interact with AI, just write English. So you can just basically just write out what you want it to do, and then you can give it tools, and then it can execute those tools. And so those tools can be more natural language prompts. So you can do some pretty cool, like, complex tasks that way, or you can have it like just run a command on the CLI, or now we're developing a bunch of crazy stuff. Like, we're giving it the ability to like search the web or control a browser, or I don't know, do some of the like RAG and all that stuff. But anyway, so it's just really like a super fun way to interact with AI. So.
Awesome. Yeah, it's hard to exactly explain how useful this is until you've spent a long time actually trying to run AI stuff outside of like ChatGPT. If you play with ChatGPT, you type stuff in, you can get results. You've got to copy paste other stuff in, you can get results. It's hard to really automate. I tried playing with a lot of the other tools in this space, and none of them ever really worked. And you're stuck with this weird mess of like strange Python code that no one wants to write or debug, hard to install stuff that doesn't run on my machine but ran on someone else's machine. And you don't really get to do the full promise of AI unless you drop all the way down and start writing everything yourself against the open AI APIs directly, which are nothing like ChatGPT either. So I was patiently watching Darren tweet all of his rage stuff about trying to make all of this stuff work, just knowing that something amazing was going to be coming, and it did. You can read this repo in 2 seconds and immediately understand how to work with this thing. I had a version installed, but I just ran brew install to make sure that we get the newest version. Let me make sure I have that up.
Yeah.
Awesome. With the homebrew version.
Yep. Yeah. We just did a version. I hope, like, because I just like clicked and did a version. This one supports Windows. It looks like our build script is pretty awesome. It says dirty.
Yeah, so I played around with this. The first day I played around with this, I jumped in a little too deep, and I tried getting gptscript to build a package for Wolfie. Wolfie is our Linux distro. For itself. I tried teaching it to do that for itself. I didn't quite get there. But then I came back the next day and played around with a couple other examples, and I got gptscript to patch CVEs in some of our packages in like 5 minutes just by passing in failing build logs and having it fix stuff. So there's a lot of promise here. What do you think a good thing to start out would be? I know your examples are pretty cool. The travel agent one is always fun.
I don't know. I mean, you can do any. I think the one I just always thought is the most interesting is the SQLite download one. Like, if you do that, you got to set an API.
Let me stop my screen share because I did have it, but I don't want to accidentally share my open.
That's a good idea. So I like to just kind of show the basic capability of or understand how it works. That, like, the SQLite download one is a decent example. So we can show that one.
Cool.
But for people who are kind of already familiar with the AI space, the closest thing you can kind of say this is, it's kind of like LangChain, but English. Like, you're using English to do what LangChain would do, which is just kind of piece together a bunch of kind of logic or create a flow with AI. So yeah, that's what I found is kind of like the easiest way to kind of describe it.
Yeah, and then what about somebody that knows nothing about AI but is like a Kubernetes YAML nerd that follows you from that space? Do you have a good description there?
Yeah, so that's the one because I think that's what's most interesting to me, is because I am like fundamentally kind of an infrastructure nerd and whatnot. And it's like AI, I always felt like everything people were showing with AI was not particularly interesting, or like how am I going to use that or whatever. And so what's cool, like actually try gptscript. It's just brew install, so it's super easy. But just you can start automating things, like just automating dumb tasks. So like take the output of kubectl and do something with it. Like just have it interpret, like, what is this saying? Is there something wrong with it? It's really simple to automate things. So for me, it's kind of like it's like a cooler way to write shell scripts to a certain degree. It's like I can just do fuzzy, like the processing you can do is just kind of you can just ask it a question and look at data, and it just kind of tells you. And it's using OpenAI, which is incredibly smart. So this example, let's see.
Yeah, one sec. All right, I named the file wrong. All right. Yeah, so this example here, I love how quick you can easily figure out what this is, right? This isn't, you're injecting tools that it's allowed to use, and then you've got a bunch of built-in ones, right?
Yeah, so if you run on the command line, you can do gptscript -- list tools. And so that's all the built-in ones. And so you can think of, like, from a programming perspective, this is kind of like the SDK, the low level. So this just kind of helps you get to interacting with the system. And then the cool thing about this is it's like from a security perspective and whatnot, because people are always like, what's the AI going to do? Like, it can only do what you give it access to. So like one of the tools is sys.exec, which is like kind of a super fun one to play with because it can just run a command, but also you're just letting it run a command, which is kind of crazy. So it's like, you can give it as much access as you want. A lot of the demos are using sys.exec because they're kind of like they're more like, wow, because it basically invents the command and then runs it.
Let me try running the SQLite one while we talk.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so this one does sys.download, sys.exec, and sys.remove. You're telling it to just download a file, right? You passed in the URL to a random file, expand it into a temp directory, and then inspect the schema and query it. So this is like something we've never even looked at before. We're doing introspection to figure out what's in there, generating a query, running the query, and then cleaning it up. So this is interfacing with the outside world, looking at data, doing all sorts of crazy stuff here in just a couple sentences. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so you can go so scroll back up and you can kind of see, so it gives you an answer there. So scroll up and you can kind of see what it did, because like when you say like download a file, it's like we just give it the tools, and the tools all have to have a description. And so like it says, oh, I have these tools and this is the description of it. So it will just basically decide that it needs to call the tool. So like the very first thing is like it calls the sys download, and I had said download it to a random file. Oh, the tool itself will actually pick a random file.
Oh, so it's the one that made this directory?
Yeah. So like
it made this random name here at the end.
Yeah, like that was from the tool, because I think the tool itself will actually just pick a random. But then it knows. So I said extract it. So it goes and it runs the unzip tool and extracts it into that directory.
And it knew to do that just because the name was .zip.
Yeah, and this is what's pretty cool, is because like then it says, well, like if you notice, like there's a file in there called chinook.db. In the instructions, we never said the name of that file. But when you unzip will naturally just list the files that are in there. So it gets the output of the unzip command, and then because I said there's a SQLite database in there, and goes, oh, that's the database file. And so I told it to inspect it, so you can see it runs SQLite 3 with that file .schema, which is the command for SQLite to dump the schema. So now at that point it knows the whole schema, and then when we ask it a query, it then just forms this little search with a join, and then it gets the output of that. So now that it has the output of that result, then the final thing is it takes the data that it saw and then turns it into a sentence. And so like scrolling all the way down, the last sentence there is like the summarization of it, of that data.
Yeah.
And then it cleans up after itself. So because I said delete any temporary files. So it deleted the file it downloads, and it deletes the file it extracted. So it's like all the little things. It's like, I don't know. I mean, like to me, like this is what I was amazed is like, I spent so much freaking time with fooling around with the Python stuff, and like I would just get frustrated because like I was just fooling around with the Python and I couldn't like do anything. And then once I built this, and it was like, oh, I can write dumb little scripts that'll interact with it, I'm just consistently amazed at like what I can do with it. Like I've yet to really figure out what like the upper limit is of like how far can I push it? What crazy things can I do with it? Like where is it obviously going to break? Like I mean, there's certain things obviously it can't do. Like it doesn't do math, but you can give it a tool to do math. So it's like all the things where it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't work for that, but it's like, well, I can give it a tool for like that specific thing. So it's like just consistently we just keep kind of pushing it further. Like, wow, like this is the things we can do with it is just amazing. It's like I'm having a blast with this. Like,
what's a good example of one that uses like a tool written in like?
Oh yeah, so go to the travel agent one. I think the travel agent is going to be like, so this one. Oh wait, no, that doesn't actually have a tool built in. Let me see if I can pull up and see, because right now we're just doing do Bob's shell, because that's just kind of like a hello world. But this will give, because we didn't really talk about this of like so what you can do is you can basically instead of giving it a prompt, so I can inline define another tool, and then the tool can just call a command, or it has this hashbang syntax like any Unix shell script or whatever. So you can basically just execute any command.
So here, this doesn't run through a model at all. You just do some templatization.
Yeah. So like this is like basically the parser for gptscript. As soon as it sees like the hashbang, it goes, okay, this is like an actual command tool. Like we're gonna fork out and call some command. Nice. Like, so go to the gptscript org. I'll show you. So like we've started working on a bunch of tools. So you can see like most of these are public. Like I can go to Vision. Vision is probably one of the easier ones. Oh no. Go to Image. I think there's an image generation one. That one's even easier. Oh crap. Yeah, image generation.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So you click on tool.gpt. So you can see this is like so this tool here. This tool will basically generate images. So if you include this tool, like we can clone this and try it out if we want. But so this tool basically, it will generate images. So you just give it like some prompt, and it's going to basically just call Dolly. So it's pretty straightforward. It will generate. But you can see the last line there.
I have to clone the whole repo. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you have to clone the whole repo.
Cool.
And then so if you go into there. Let me see, is there... So if you create... So what you can do is create a file in this current directory.
Okay. What do I name it?
Anything. It doesn't matter. Example.gpt. And then there, say tools, tools : and do ./tools.gpt. Like that. So that should then pull in that tool, and then so now just say like whatever, like create me an image of something, whatever you want, a friendly duck. So this is so if you run this, because it's doing Python locally, so yeah, just do gptscript example. Let's see if this works. It might blow up because like, do you care if you do pip install OpenAI?
It'll ruin my computer forever, but okay.
Yeah, I know. This is so. Next week we're going to be announcing kind of like package and management of these tools, so you don't have to do this. Does it reinterpret the? Okay, I'll answer these. What? What is it not? Is it not OpenAI? Pip install. Oh no! Oh, I don't.
Can it install Python dependencies?
Well, so like that's what we're working on. Is like, so basically we're gonna like kind of create virtual environments automatically and stuff, so you don't have to go through this hell. I'm not a Python person, so I don't even know. Pips dependency. Whatever. Okay. Oh, you know what? But can I share my screen on this?
I'm gonna use some dark magic here and try to set up a virtual environment.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get this right on my first time on stream. No pressure.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, and then
think we did it. All right, now let me try.
Okay, now pip install. Yeah. OpenAI. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so now run it. Let's see.
We did it.
Prompt friendly duck. Oh, maybe it's running. It's taking some time.
It didn't crash yet. We did it.
Yeah.
What was harder, getting AI to work or setting up a virtual env in pip?
I'm pretty sure the virtual. Okay, so what? Oh, I can't see your screen. So did that give you a URL?
Yeah. Should I open it up?
Let's see. Whoa.
Wrong.
Friendly
running.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So are you playing around with different models and everything like that, or?
Yeah. So yeah. See if that.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a friendly duck. Yeah. So you can create little tools. So like we're putting together a whole system so that like, because this is kind of like raw, like you have to clone and do pip and all that stuff. Is like you'll just be able to
a package manager.
Yeah. So it's like
my favorite thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it was a package manager or an email client. It was one or the other. so
awesome.
So basically you'll be able to type like tools and just put like the repo name, and then it'll take care of all the cloning and all this magic or whatever.
And I saw you were playing around. Well, I'm guessing anyway because you were asking about browser drivers. Did you find a good one? Are you gonna have a browser driver in here?
Well, right now we're doing Playwright. So there's I had tweeted like, so one of our developers got like an example running of where you can, basically ask it to like go to a web page and fill out a form, and we're using Playwright for that. I don't know if we'll stick with it because it's a pretty heavyweight thing. So it's in that repo still. I wouldn't recommend that one running because it's pretty crazy.
I'm going to try to find a package here in Wolfie that is stuck on trying to update OTel, and we're going to see if we can do the other hardest thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If it can update OTel, then it's like, that's a product all in of itself.
Yeah, I think we've cracked general artificial intelligence in here. Okay, so this is up. Oh, it looks like this is trying to update Kubernetes client Go, even better. All right, so on this one, I'm going to help it out a bit. So it looks like this is the Kubescape project. We're trying to bump the Helm dependency in here, and stuff is going crazy. So I'm going to help it out a bit. Git clone that thing. Let's get it set up into this state where the build fails, and then we'll see if we can make it fix the build. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. So the biggest downside of gptscript right now, because you asked about models, is like it is using OpenAI, which costs money, and it's not particularly cheap either. So we're putting a lot of freaking effort into trying to get this to work locally for at least like basic use cases. Like OpenAI is so good; there's no model that compares to it. But like a kind of at least a degraded experience, that's basically okay. So,
all right, let me try to. Is it not there? There's no Go mod file?
Huh? It says Go mod. Oh wait, replaced by Go Get.
Huh? Do they have a local replace in here? What are these? What did they do? Oh, there's a submodule, of course.
Oh.
The other hardest thing in the world to get to work correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. And now how do we build it? Make, probably. If we get a build error here, as I expect we will, then we can see if we can fix it. I did get this to work one other time. What would you start writing for a script like this? Would you make your own?
Well, so what is it? I mean, so basically, like I would do something like, tell it to run the command and like say something like, run this command, and then if it fails, I would first start with then recommend what I should do to fix it.
Sure. All right. I'm going to make a container here because I'm a terrible person and I don't have CMake installed. And apparently this thing needs CMake. Okay. Wow, let's get some packages. And so you would write something like, all right, would I make a new tool or would I just create a file?
So I mean, yeah. So I would just create a file. Just start with like, you don't need any. Well, yeah. So give it sys.exec so it can run something.
Yeah.
And then also this is a little trick. Is the sys.exec, if you put a question mark at the end, that means that instead of it failing and the whole thing failing, if it
Ooh,
fails, it will give you the error and then let the LLM process the error.
amazing. That is a
Yeah.
pro tip.
So I don't know if I've documented that.
Okay, so I would say, so then I would say run, or maybe I'll just pass in the error into here. Is that an easier way?
Well, because yeah, well, how are you going to run it? Yeah, because like gptscript is not in this context.
Yeah, I could get it. But yeah, okay, we got this build running. Okay, so then say I tried updating a dependency in a Go project and got this compiler error. Make something like this.
Yeah.
Can you change the files in this directory to fix the error? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
and you can give it instead of sys.exec, give it sys.write.
Instead of or in addition to, or I guess,
yeah. Give it into it exists sys.write and then sys.read.
Do I do spaces or commas?
Commas. That's a good point.
There was like a sys.find too. Do we need that?
I don't know if we'll, because most likely the error will have the file name in it, like I would think, but because I don't think we actually have a sys.ls. But you can do, I mean, you can give it anything you want. So sys.find, sys.exec, and just see what it does.
If you pass in too many tools, does that confuse it, or is it pretty good about figuring out?
It's possible, but I mean, OpenAI is really smart, so it's like it doesn't seem to get confused very easily.
Nice.
But you definitely, so that's kind of like, there's two reasons why we don't just give all tools. One is security, and the other is like just predictability.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, we just don't want it to hallucinate and do the wrong thing, so you just limit the scope.
Yeah, I've noticed that quite a bit where like the predictability is hard. I'll get something running really well up to some point, and then I try it again after making a tweak below, and the first thing now has a completely different output.
Yeah.
You also do some pretty interesting caching, right? I've noticed.
Yeah.
If you rerun it, only some parts of it rerun. Is that to save the bill? Is that to improve predictability? How does that work?
It's mostly to save the bill. It's like it's because it's not so cheap to always be going to OpenAI. So it's like if the request we just like hash the request, and then just save the response for that. So if it's the exact same request, we just give back the previous response.
Nice. Wow, there's so many GoDeps in here. This is fun downloading on the WeWork Wi-Fi. What are some other we can explain while this finishes?
Let me see.
Have you written any of the code in gptscript with gptscript? Have you used it on the project?
Well, no, the original README was written with it, but like we then rewrote that. Oh, okay. So is that what's failing?
No, that was, I forgot to run go mod tidy.
Oh,
amazing. Let's download even more stuff. Yeah, I did a go bump and then forgot.
So there's a bunch of questions here. I might as well answer some of these questions because
sure.
Because first somebody asked if we were planning on doing vector database with RAGs or search use cases. So yeah, we are. So we have so it's like since we released gptscript, like the reception's been so good at Acorn, we're now throwing a bunch of engineers on it. So I already there's at least 2 people working on RAG right now. So yeah, because that's just one of the primary use cases of that people are using. So yes, definitely. But it's going to be largely, I think the way we're going right now is largely a wrapper around Llama Index. There's already a lot of good work with Llama Index. But what's really cool is what I did with RAG is like, I don't know if we'll do it, but like I was fooling around with it and I got it so I could write like, my data store is like, or connect to this Postgres database at this URL. My username is this and my password is in this environment variable. and it would take that instruction, figure out what Python like class need to be instantiated, and then instantiate that in a Llama index or whatever. So it's like I could just give an English description of like where my vector database is, and it would go and do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun because like once you figure out like you can have like tools call other tools. It's like you can just start breaking things down into like smaller little tasks, and then you start stacking them together. And you just start doing all this like really cool, fun things.
Yeah, one thing I love is the way to write tools in like real programming languages, because there's certain, like when you play with this GPT stuff, there's some stuff it figures out and it blows your mind that it figures that out.
Yeah.
And then there will be something else really simple and you have no idea why it can't figure that thing out. And then at that point, you can just write like a 3-line bash script and stop and move on. That was one of the most exciting things to me when I first even just read the docs here.
Yeah, and like it's fun because it's like, because what I noticed is that like people get excited about like the ones where it just magically figures it out. But the ones where it magically figures it out are the ones that are also the most unreliable. Like it could hallucinate and do the wrong thing later. So that like if you want a predictable thing, it's like you can make it more fine grained and explicit, and you can also just use a bunch of like tools that you've written yourself, because usually it's like you want to use AI for a very specific purpose of like one step in this whole flow is complicated and needs AI, but the other ones you could have just done in like some normal way.
Exactly. That's what I really enjoyed about this. Well, I couldn't reproduce the error. I don't know why. Let's do something even sillier, like clone Istio. All right, let's do. And we'll try a different one. Oh no, I don't have it. Are there any other questions in there while I do this?
Oh yeah. So the other, does it reinterpret the script every time using OpenAI API on every run? Okay, so this is one of the big problems with the like scripting any of this stuff is like the idea of the context window. And so you can blow out the context window. It's 128K for GPT 4 right now. So if you have more than 128K within like the data that the tool needs to process, it will blow up. But that context window is kept for each tool. Like if you call a sub tool, it now has a new context window. Every sub tool has a new context window. So just the way like the chat APIs work in general is like every time you call, like you get a new message, like you get a response. When we send like the response to like our new follow-up question after that, we have to send back the whole history every single time. So like it just keeps growing that whole thing. It's like it's just the way that the LLMs work. So it's like it does kind of reinterpret the data. Like there's no way to like kind of just incrementally send things and save on the token counts, unfortunately. Like the only way we're going to end up making this cheaper is getting like local models, or they actually make OpenAI cheaper.
Yeah. Have you like what's the largest program you've written this way?
Yeah. So the most complicated one, I had done was actually, I don't think I have it anymore, was Dagger. I was trying to integrate with Dagger just for fun. And so Dagger under the hood is built off of a GraphQL API. And so what I was doing was I would tell it to basically run the Dagger command and dump the GraphQL schema. Then once I had the schema, sorry. The flow started with I'd say like I want to do something, and it would go to Daggerverse to find a module, a Dagger module. So it would post out and search Daggerverse to find a module, and then it would get back the HTML result, which the LLM would just parse and figure out like, oh, this is the module name you actually name. Then I would run Dagger and then dump the GraphQL query to then figure out what's the schema of the module. And then once I had the schema of the module, I could then, from that, construct the GraphQL query to then execute the Dagger module, and then it would run. And so it was like, that was a pretty like complicated process or whatever that I kind of got working. It was significantly hard because of the context window thing of trying to play around that.
Yeah.
That's one of like just the biggest challenges we have right now is trying to figure out better approaches. Okay.
All right, we got one now. So it was an error during go mod tidy trying to update hotel.
Yeah.
So I told it I tried updating a dependency in a Go project and got this error during go mod tidy. And I told it to read the go mod file and the other relevant files and then suggest a fix. Does this seem good?
Yeah. Let's see what it does.
Okay, and I'm going to run it from in this directory. gptscript. What did I do wrong?
Oh yeah. So we'll go back to it. It's because you use --. Unfortunately, that's like the parser. Yeah, just do backticks.
Cool.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. I'll just open up this directory with VS Code. Okay, cool. All right, let's try it again.
Okay, let's see what it does.
So you're living everyone's dream right now. You get to write a new programming language, and now you're writing a new package manager.
Yep. Yeah.
Are you gonna have hotel?
Okay, to resolve this issue, you should. Okay, so what does this say? You should update the.
Okay, so I just told it to suggest a fix. Should I tell it to make the fix directly?
Yeah, actually, so like, yeah. Let's see what it does.
And then edit the. Also, and then fix the files to correct the error.
Yeah, let's see if it does it. I'll be surprised if it does this. I mean, it'll definitely change something. Let's see. Info file. Oh, yeah, so now it's writing the whole result of it. This is the joy of watching AI. It's like paint drying.
Yeah.
It types out the response.
So which local models are you going to play with? I've heard good stuff about like the Mixtral stuff.
Yeah, Mixtral. So I really enjoy Mixtral because it seems to be like the most like non-creative model, which is like that's kind of what we need for the predictability of this. It's like it seems to be very good and it's not super like hallucinating. Mm-hmm. So I've been having the most success with that. The fundamental issue with getting gptscript to work with the local models is the function calling concept. Is none of the open source models really seem to support it very well. Like there's a couple that claim to, but I haven't really had much success with them. So we're trying to see, there's a lot of models to try. So we're trying a bunch of models. We're trying fine tuning. We're trying hacky approaches to see if we can get, some model to work. So I have a hacky approach because that's the only thing that I do is hack. Yeah. And so I'm actually gotten pretty far with Mistral on a hacky approach. Nice. But if I can get that one to work, I'm also going to try out Gemma. But like, I had some weird problems.
That just come out like yesterday.
Yeah. So I was super happy with Gemma coming out. Of like, I'm glad Google did that. Like, I'm mad that OpenAI has not done a similar thing.
Maybe I guess what's happening now is that the model is actually spitting out tokens for the go.mod file, and then we're going to write this.
Yeah, so that's why it's taking, because it's like it's telling you the full contents of that file.
Yeah,
so like,
would a hack have been something like this? A few like go mod command.
Oh yeah, like it could use the go mod command. I mean, it will eventually get there. Like let's see. Like the only thing is this just costs more, but. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what it writes.
This is the Istio Go mod file. I have no idea how big this thing is.
Yeah.
How far?
Oh my gosh.
APIs.
It's like, I'm sorry, the live stream is not long enough to do this.
Yeah. Oh wow, no, this is still going. All right, let's kill this one and try to do the Go mod version.
Yeah.
I don't think we were very far at all.
Let's see, content. Oh no, I think it's trying to write again. Oh no,
I forgot to hit save. Oops.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. Save me some tokens.
Yeah. Oh, so this one is.
Yeah, it's doing what I asked for. Nice. All right, let's try it. I didn't tell it to run them.
And it said go mod tidy after that.
Yeah. But I did get an error on the first one.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Right. Not even gptscript can update OTel.
Well, I don't think like because when you fix OTel, do you normally run go? Like I think it needs to actually write the file to fix it. Like that's the problem. It's like the
Yeah, you have to do it all at once. Yeah.
Try this. Tell it to generate a patch and apply the patch to it.
Can you in other files generate a patch to the go.mod file that will fix the errors?
Yeah, just see if they'll just generate a patch. Yeah.
Okay, let's we just did it do much? We did a bunch. Yeah, we'll have to clean that up in a second, but let's do this first. I think I got it into a bad state.
Content diff. What is this doing?
Yeah, what is this doing?
Go up. Did it say like it was? Can you scroll up? Is it calling a tool? Waiting for model response. Content diff.
And then it's just printing it out.
Oh no.
That doesn't look right. Generate a patch file, maybe?
Yeah, generate a patch file. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean by the unpredictability. Sometimes it's awesome and sometimes it tricks you. What are some other fun use cases you've seen?
Okay. Oh, use matching. No.
Yeah.
Bummer. Wonder.
It's impossible to update OTel, I think.
it's official. It's even too hard for ChatGPT.
We need a version with Q star support.
Yeah. So one of the fun ones that I did was like because I had tweeted this of like basically doing a schema management system with I wonder if I have that one somewhere.
Oh, I think I saw that one. Yeah, you told it like it just in text what changes to make to the schema.
Yeah. So what? Like here, can I share my screen?
Let's see. Go for it. Take over.
Present.
I'll stop sharing mine.
Share screen. No. Hold on, sorry. Okay, so do you see this screen here? Okay, so I think it was this one that I had done. So
are you sharing?
Oh no,
maybe it is on the screen.
Oh wait, you're in the everyone. No, let's see. So I have to click something. It's in this. It's in like the.
Okay, there you go. It just popped up.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, so this one here. Because I was fooling around with like basically. So I created a tool called Schema, and so the idea with this one was like I was trying to manage the SQLite schema. So the instructions are basically it tells it it's SQLite and that the schema is stored in files like this. So it says read the existing schema from all of those files, and if no files are found, create a new schema. And then if the existing ones don't match it, then create a new file with alter statements. So that the idea is like this should create kind of like migration schemes, like database migration. So it's like I should be able to. I mean, we'll see how well this works. It worked at like. All right. So like this is when you get into like what they say like prompt engineering, trying to get like prompts to get it to do the exact thing. So the idea with this is, let me see. Let me delete the schema. So if I run this, it should take because I'm doing this here. I'm saying, okay, create the following database schema, and I have this tool available, which is the tool down there. So I just give it the description. It should be a table like that. That's ID auto increment, has a primary key, unique key, and then like this is a foreign key. So if I run this once, let's see, wait for Okay, so that should have created schema 01, right?
So cool.
So it created that table. Let's see, that's a primary auto key, blah, blah, blah. Did I say that one was unique? Oh yeah, unique key, like that one was unique. Yeah, text unique. Yeah, and this has a foreign key to the other one. So like, it created this the schema, right? And then so the idea was then if you go and you add another one, like I don't know how well this is gonna work, but like it worked a couple times for it. Like we'll add like another one called description. No, let's see, date, and we'll just call it time. Let's see what it does. Or date. Okay, so then let's see if this works. Cross your fingers.
Okay.
So that created an O2 file. Let's see what it actually wrote in there. Oh no! So this one does. It didn't do the alter, but this one has the new schema in it. But it put date time, but it didn't do an alter. Let's try it one more time. Let's see. So you can see like kind of the kind of the complexity of getting things to be like super reliable.
Wow.
So you can say cache false if you don't want it to cache anything.
Do you have any other sneak preview stuff you can show us that's not released yet?
Well, so most of the stuff, so we're not really keeping anything like, private or whatever, but I'll show you the stuff, it's like we're trying to do this as much in the open, but you'll see the stuff that is already being worked on here of the different repositories. So it's like we have image generation coming. So that is, basically Dolly. Yep. So, somebody was asking about RAG. So you can see that's already in the works. I have no idea why that's public or why it's private. The developer who did that probably just forgot to make it public. We'll make that public. So we have search. Let me see what state. This was just committed 5 hours.
So how does RAG work? Because that's not just like calling an external API, right? It's got to change the program.
Yeah. So this one, I have no idea what they're doing right now. I don't think they've set up this one. They haven't really committed any code. Let me see.
Okay.
Let's see. This one, it's super hard. Like we're putting a lot of effort into this one. This is most likely just a POC. I can show you like, oh no, that one will be super confusing if I show you that.
So I'm excited for that, just for like the data flow aspects. I got a couple kind of longer programs running, and it was kind of hard to pass state in a more like if the program gets more than just a straight line, it starts to get a little bit harder when you have to write stuff to disk and refer to it later. Yeah.
So like the basic idea of like RAG, what we're doing with RAG is like this is kind of a stub of it. Like this is not actually doing, but like. Because for anyone who like, so if you're not aware of like what RAG is, it's like what, retrieval augmented generation. I think that's what it is. But it's like a fancy term for the idea that like before you try to answer a question or follow an instruction, first look up appropriate information for it. So like the very first step is just like go and query something that's going to give you important information about it. And so this is where the vector databases come in. Is like a vector database will do semantic search based off of an embedding model and stuff. And so you can do this search where it's really just what Google does really well already. Is like you just search your own documents and it'll say, hey, here's a bunch of important stuff about that. You give that to the LLM at the time that you ask the question, and then it will provide more information. So like the basic flow is like if I'm running a script like this, I'll say like, what did Walt Disney do? And I give it search. But like inside the search tool, you want it like it will first say like obtain context information about that query by querying the data store. Use that context.
Data store is just another tool. You haven't really changed the language in any way.
Yeah. So it's like this here is like another tool data store. But here this is where I'm fudging it. It's like this is where like on the querying side, this is where you would call out to an existing data store, some vector database.
Yeah.
So it's like if I run this, like this tool here, gptscript, RAG, and I run this, so the question was, what did Walt Disney do? And the dumb data store just returns back, he did stuff. So then returns back and says, Walt Disney did stuff. So if this returns something like, created Disney, Disneyland and Mickey Mouse, when you run that, then it should, but the idea is it gives you, you give it a whole bunch of like context information. I wish I could show the search tool. The thing that sucks about search right now is like all of the best search is behind. Oh wait, hold on. Let me try on another window here. I think I might have a Brave API key. I do. Let me see if I can get this search one working.
Oh, so you're going to use Brave Search with the API?
Yeah. Because so we've got. Let me see if the developer Grant was working on this. Let me see if he. I think Brave. Yeah, Brave image search. Okay, so we can fool around with this one here, of like. Let me see. Tool GPT in here. I'm just trying to figure out what environment variable he's going to look for. And we support writing, like for the code tools or whatever, we support writing. What we will support, like this is what we're working on, is Python, Node, and Go right now. So you can just write it in any language, as long as it's one of those three. Let me see. Engine, package, Brave. Yeah. Image search, Brave. Okay, cool. Let me set that. I'm doing it on a different screen here, so you won't see the token. And see, we'll see if we can get the Brave one working. Okay, and then this is gptscript search. AI search. This probably needs to be built. Yes. Because this will do user bin search. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see if this works. So he's got an example. Brave. Let's see. Nolan actors. So here, it's yeah. Let me go into that directory. What is this one here? It says you're an expert web researcher with access to Brave Search API. List out some main actors in Christopher Nolan's movie Inception, as well as the name of the other, whatever. Okay, so let's see if this actually works. We'll put Grant on the spot. If it doesn't work, then you can just blame Grant.
A live demo of someone else's code. Awesome. Thank you, Grant.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh wait. Okay, wait. No. Let's try this. I think it's because it's just in the wrong directory. Let's copy the example. Okay. See if it works. Waiting for model response. No, but I set that. Well, hold on. Let me make sure I set that environment variable. Maybe I'm just not. I'm not actually going to type this. Yeah, it's there. Okay. I might have not sourced my environment or something. So let's try it one more time. Come on, Grant. Third time's the charm. Oh.
Amazing.
So we have so this is what's coming, the search. So the thing is super cool, because I had to clone that repo and build it, and there's a bunch of crap or whatever. This is actually going to do a bunch more because I think it will follow the links. Oh no. So anyway, so that's from the Brave API, but we have Brave, Bing, and Google. But the thing that sucks is all of them you have to have an API key. There's not a free search.
Is the web driver, the Chrome driver stuff, Chrome DP, going to make that a little easier? Can I just type into search?
Yeah. So that's what we can just drive search with, because there's this one here that we did, gptscript browser tool. I'll see. Was it this one? No, not search and query. Example GPT. Yeah. This was the one I tweeted. This one is like browse the website at Bing. Like this one's super cool because let's see if it runs. There's a browser running somewhere. Let me see. Oh yeah. Here we go. Like, it's running that browser.
How does that tool work? Like, what's the implementation of that?
So this
That's
so this one here is I think it's well. So here I'll show you what the tool. Where's the tool? Tool search. Oh yeah. Okay. I think I had hidden. It's way down here. So this is calling this node. This one just gets you some HTML. This one does a search. This one, like, I don't even actually understand how he did this one. Because this one, search and query, because I think it gets the HTML and then it figures out the box ID and then sends it to it and then calls this node program here, which is then search and query.
Okay,
which
so that's inside in the browser. Nice.
Yeah, so like this one, I think we might dump Playwright and do Chrome DP instead, because the cool thing with Chrome DP is that we can integrate into your existing browser, like not launch a new one.
Nice.
So then like you can be logged in and stuff. Because like one of the problems, like it's really hard to automate login flows because of like capture and stuff. They like specifically don't want you to.
Yeah.
So it's like, so we're fooling around. We're getting this so you can run the browser. You know, we've got search coming. What are the other ones?
So I know we only have a couple minutes left. Like, this is an open source project. Are you looking for help in certain areas for anybody listening? Are you looking for contributions? Where can people jump in and help?
Yeah, so the best thing is really to try it out and like tell us what works and doesn't work. That's what we love the most. So there's where's our Discord? So that we have a Discord. It should be in the stupid repo here. Let me see. I think it's in the very bottom. So join our Discord. You can just click here. That will go there. So just download it and try it. Like inevitably, you're gonna like some things will work and it'll be cool. Some things will fail. We want to know like what people are able to do and what people are not able to do, what they'd like it to do, where it blows up. The biggest caveat is just realize it's going to open AI. And so it is gonna like, it costs some money. That's the thing that sucks. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of pay attention. You can set like kind of like a budget in OpenAI so you don't spend too much. You can just kind of fund a couple, give it like $5 or $10 and see how far you can go. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is just use it and let us know. Because we really like the way it's going right now is like, I think this image one was a decent, oops, shoot, I just lost that. Is that like, it should be so ridiculously easy to write code like integrations. So going back, not to the search one, but the image generation, because this is like kind of the simplest one. So it's like, all this is like basically one API call to generate images or something. So it's like for you to create like a code thing, it's like just host some code on GitHub, and then we're going to handle all the kind of like the cloning and all the kind of the distribution aspects of it. So it should be really easy for people to contribute a bunch of like crazy codes, like code and tools. And then like we're really hoping we get people just kind of creatively using this. So the biggest thing is to enhance the tools, but then we really got to get a local model running. Yeah. It is like as soon as we get a local model running, then it just opens up that anyone can run it for free, and then it's going to be crazy. So I don't know.
Awesome. Yeah, we've gotten a ton of use out of this internally. One of our engineers got a better dependency management flow bumper than we just tried to do. Matt, CTO, fed in a bunch of like our IAM policies and had it like find some ways it could tighten things up even more in our cloud projects and alerts for anomalous behavior and stuff like that. If things would be, generating tokens they weren't supposed to be, all in like a couple hours of playing with this. So it's awesome to see like people just look at the docs, they can figure out what it does immediately, and then they get it working because you're just typing in English. So thanks for making something so awesome.
Oh, thanks. I mean, it's been fun. It's been really exciting to see people use it and like it. So
yeah, awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and thanks, Darren. I'm going to keep following this project, and I saw your prediction that this is going to pass K3s and stars.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, the AI
Yeah.
multiple on GitHub stars is crazy. All these projects get so many. Like some of them passed like Kubernetes and stars like 1 month in. So I'm sure you're going to pass.
Yeah, I hope so. So we're trying to, you know, we're gonna start actively like marketing this and pushing it out there and because we want as many users as possible. It really seems like there's a lot of potential for this. So it's like we're super excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for joining, and thanks for coming, Darren. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.